Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic day out there. Whatever happens, I hope it's good, or at least manageable. Today, we're going to take you back in time, my friends. We're going to go back to a simpler time. Back to a time when men were men and women were... we can't talk about that, can we? No, we can't do that. All right, how about... we're going back in time, a time before 2020, when people weren't afraid of a small little... Nope, we can't do that. That is right out. That is definitely going to get me canceled. How about this? Let's talk about something we can still talk about. We're going to go back in time to a time when Russian bias ruled the game. Absolutely. We're going to, maybe 2016, I think we're going to take you back. Check out this game as we go on the Wayback Machine. This game is not from 2016, but it almost could be. Almost. I don't know if maybe a couple of these are slightly newer than that, but let's take a look at this because this is crazy. We're on El Haluf River Airfield Dorf. Sand Haluf Dorf. On my team is an Emil 1, pretty old tank, an IS-5 that I am driving, hence the Russian bias. A Lurva, one of the very first premiums. A Progetto, kind of new, but kind of old now, isn't it? Still good. Type 59, Scorpion. I mean, look at the rest of them. The T-29. Maybe the Czech tanks are newish. And another collection of lower tier oldies. And we look over on the enemy team. They have an IS-5. They have a Mutant, the first premium tier 8. Pretty close to, if not the first. A Pantera, a 34-3. Look at those things. All oldies but goodies over there. Literally, this game could easily at least be 2018, I think. Let's get going because this is a time when Russian bias ruled the world. Time of the dinosaurs. It is a world of tanks from a bygone era, my friends. And it's going to take so long to wait for all of these timeouts and time downs and clocks and whatnot. We're just going to fast on forward. We have spawned in my team into the west. We're going to go to the heavy brawling area, and then we're just going to let the words Stalin and Russian bias take over, my friends. We're talking snap-a-lap-a-ding-dang. Here we go, just like do-do-do-do, and schlap. There we go. Dropping 362 on that guy. Pantera's nearly dead. This was a time in the past when all you had to do was point your Russian gun and let the Russian bias take over. You know, was there ever any really Russian bias, my friends? Boom, pen, easy, just point. Just point. Because we talk about it a lot still, don't we? But what are the best tanks? They seem to be British. Don't they seem to be British at this point? A 470, my friends. 470. Probably would have been smart to hit the old 3 button and get some HE. Look at the Russian bias taking over. We bounce that sad M6's shot. Take that. We'll just snap another one. We don't need to aim. Stalin. There it goes. Russian bias coming at you. How about you, fella? You want some Russian bias? I think he does. Watch. Come here. Maybe it's a little while later. The Whistler didn't work. Need some more... some more smacking sounds, but I need a little more coffee to make that happen. Did I already Russian bias his turret? As I come around this corner, I'm kind of curious if I'm going to get hit by the TD that's missing. The big one I'm worried about is the WZ-120. Now, I did get lit, but I'm pretty sure it was one of these guys, and I didn't take a shot. Plus, people had gone around the corner, and I didn't see any big WZ shots coming in. Turns out I'm right. He isn't there. Give you one guess where he is. He has a pretty... Boom. Slap. No problem. Stalin. Russian bias coming at you. Now this is bias v bias, but as I am a more skilled player, I don't know if I am. Anyway, I get it. I do win. I win this. I beat him, alright? I don't know if I'm more skilled than he is. I didn't look at it. I'm not sure, but perhaps my Russian bias has been around longer. Perhaps I have more Russian bias built up. I have more Russian bias in my pinky than that guy has in his whole daggum IS-5 body. That's all I'm saying. Alright, more Russian bias in my left road wheel than that guy has in his whole IS-5. I don't know. I'm not sure. We're starting to win. I'm pretty dang sure now that the WZ is not over here. I am getting some pressure. So this is interesting. Let's talk about this for a second. I am getting some pressure from my buddies over here. Got the Super Hellcat back up here. I know the 1357's there, but we also have not been taking a bunch of hits from the WZ camping back up here. Or anybody else, really. So that's feeling pretty good that we can kind of move around these corners. And if I can start putting some pressure, really start beating this IS-5 up a little bit. So we put one into him, bounce his. Stalin. There you go. And as I start to bring him down to more of a one-shot, unfortunately they do kill the VZ-44. So it's just me and the mighty Lurva. Watch this. Oh, I don't even need to zoom in all the way. Stalin, Russian bias, coming at you. Somehow the 1357 pinned me. Then he dies to the CS-44. That's very helpful. So at least I don't get tracked or have silly little pins. We'll come in here and we'll slap him down. He finally gets a piece of me at 406. I dropped 390 on him. Me and the Lurva. Me and the Low and I. I'm a little bit worried about that type. He did hit me in the back. I'm just going to zing down past where he can shoot me and we'll just come in at these guys. We'll kill him because he's facing the Lurva, and then the Lurva should be out. Why is he out of position? That's a bummer. This is going to hurt. Yep, it did. Now I'm just going to push him here. Push him out into the Lurva. There we go. Thought about backing up, but I don't back up faster than he goes forward, even going up the hill. And now we got to start cleaning these guys up. We're in pretty good shape. Unfortunately, what happens here, man, again, we're really going back. We're going back to the future. We're going back to 2016, although it still happens even in today's game. The Lurva and Super Hellcat and everybody's just pushing. Stalin, right? Who cares? Just wave the gun in their direction. You're going to get a hit. It's fine. 3,987. Easy. Game is easy. I'm hoping the Lurva will get some light, so instead of driving down the middle, and I don't want to really drive out into the middle, kind of like the ELC did, because if we zing on up here, you can see that they have the 34-3 over here, and they've got the Type 62, so they kind of own the middle. We're going to start wrapping around there, but if I'm up here, I might get some shots. Turns out I actually don't get any up here, maybe one. Unfortunately, the Emil dies, and where he died, that kind of gives me an idea of where the WZ is. So I figure at this point it's pretty well proven. In fact, he's actually lit. Sorry, I didn't see that. Got something in the way on the bottom corner of the screen there, so he's been lit for a while. He's over there. That's good. I don't know what I hit there. Probably destroyed another map because I hit a rock. Yeah, so he's not even shottable. Not shottable. The WZ is not shottable. See, I'm just kind of taking myself out of the battle here. I wish I had moved around into the middle without driving into the middle, but now we find the 34-3. He starts moving. Russia. There we go. Boom. 391. Down he goes. I told you this was a battle right out of a bygone era, man. Very few autoloaders. There are a couple. Lots of older tanks. None of the usual suspects of the current overpowered tanks, really. Now, the M2Y on the other team, obviously, is a relatively brand new line, but it's really a lot like a subpar T-29. You know, so nothing really new right there. We just don't have any of the usual suspects here. A couple pref tanks, oldie but goodie Lurva. That was definitely an advantage on our part because they had the. I mean, if push comes to shove, I'd rather have a Lurva than a mutant. I mean, the mutant can do a couple things really good. The Lurva does more things pretty dang good. So the WZ is up top there. He's got full hit points. He's going to actually have himself a really good game. Cranks out a lot of points. And unfortunately, our guys are sort of feeding him over there. They're not really waiting for us to come around the corner. They did get the M2Y, but the Lurva bites it here pretty quickly. I think the WZ gets him. Yeah, there we go. So the WZ gets him. And I've got to be careful. That WZ could take me down. If he can find a way to get through the armor, gets in the right spot, gets beside me, is able to hit that lower pike nose, there's a lot of ways that he can give me a lot of trouble. So I'm going to kind of come up here. I know that I'm starting to get the snippers up behind me. The snipperinos are getting ready. See if I can catch something out. Yeah, this guy's coming at me. He's like, uh-oh, that's not good. He'd have done better to cut to the left and give me at least some line of sight to play with, or he might have even been able to dodge behind those rocks right there. Now I'm spotted, so I'm worried the WZ is going to turn around and come at me. I'm also wondering where the Type 62 went. I'm feeling pretty confident, but we have a lot of one-shots that this WZ could potentially take out. I think he missed the type. So I'm sort of backing up here. I'm not in position to help. Then I see the type doing his thing. I don't really want him behind me. Scorpion's making a runner right there. And I figure, well, we'll just have to leave him. We got to kind of deal with this WZ. We got to take care of this WZ. We'll deal with him later. Nope, never mind. The CS-44 dealt with him. Good on him. CS-44 had a good game. Killed 4 people. So we got 4,600 damage. 158 assist. I see the St. Emile going up there. I wish he was waiting a little bit till I got a bit higher. But it turns out he's not actually up here. He's dropped off already. St. Emile sees him and then sort of just makes a YOLO attack. But I don't think the WZ sees the Emile right now. Emile's having a hard time getting his gun online. He backs out. I'm just going to zing along the side here so we can put 2 different angles on the WZ. He's trying to get a shot on the Emile. The Emile sort of goes at him. I'll come in here. We'll get a shot. Go for that back tread to track him. Don't quite get it. The WZ does reload pretty quickly and hits really hard, so he does a nice job. Takes out the Emile there. I try to clip that guy to where he can't get a shot. Fortunately, it doesn't work. He was not quite reloaded, and then the Scorpion comes around behind him and finishes him off. And I crank out 5,390. I think there might be a blind shot in there. I'm not sure. I believe the kill shot on the Hellcat was a blind shot. Was that not really just a blast from the past on that particular game? I'm going to be honest with you. That's a lot like what I really liked about World of Tanks. Very few autoloaders. There were some. I mean, we had a Pantera, we had a Progetto, a couple even 90s, one on each team, and a 1357, I guess. And so, but not just the super overpowered tanks that are out there. These are all fairly mediocre in terms of current stats kinds of tanks. So I just really enjoyed that game. Of course, it's easy to enjoy the game when you drop over 5,000 damage. This game is so much fun when you drop 5,000 damage. You're top tier in a tier 8 and you get a beat up on 7s. Fun, right? That just cracked me up though, man. This really brought me back to 3, 4, 5 years ago in World of Tanks and why I liked this game so much, especially in terms of this matchup and these tanks. All right, that's all I've got. Let me know what you think down below. You guys have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your day. See ya.